Hi friends, so about 5 years back I packed my bags and I relocated from the Midwest to the beautiful Fort Mill, South Carolina, which is where I'm at today. I actually backed up to the Catawba River right here. Technically this is Rock Hill, but it's so close to Fort Mill I consider it to be one and the same. But today I'm actually excited because Madeline and I are going to share our beautiful town with you here in Fort Mill. We're going to look at so many awesome spots, some of our favorite spots. We're going to go to downtown Fort Mill, Baxter, Kingsley. We're going to look through Tega. We're going to look through some really cool neighborhoods in the area, some of the schools nearby, some of our favorite restaurants, shops, stores, and even grocery stores. So be sure to stick around until the end. We're going to show you some really cool spots, as well as one of our most favorite spots here in Fort Mill. And also, if you want to know everything Fort Mill and Charlotte, North Carolina and Upper South Carolina, please be sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel for as much Carolina living content as you can possibly want. We post videos weekly and it would help us out a ton if you did that. Also, folks, if you need any help on your real estate journey here in the Carolinas, like buying a home, selling a home, investing in a property here, be sure to go ahead and look for my number, my email, or a link for a private Zoom session with me in the description below, also on my YouTube banner. Happy to help however I can, and happy to help you on your real estate journey and all your real estate needs. Now, let's go ahead and get started and see this beautiful city of Fort Mill, South Carolina for ourselves.
So before we get started on this tour, or I guess as we're starting on this tour, I want to let you know there's some really strong reasons not to move to Fort Mill or even not to move to South Carolina altogether. And I'm going to share some of those at the end. I know some of my local friends and family might get mad at me for saying these things, but I'm not in it to please them. I want to make sure you are just informed as a consumer and as someone potentially moving and relocating here. As we first take a look at historic downtown Fort Mill here, which is beautiful. This is kind of the center of Fort Mill, so to speak. But moving on from that, it is a great town, but there are some drawbacks and some things that led my wife and I to actually leave Fort Mill. We lived here for 2 years. Well, we actually lived here for 3 years, and then we moved to Charlotte, lived here for another 2 years after that. And then we left Fort Mill for another city. But first, let's go ahead and take a tour of historic downtown Fort Mill. It is beautiful. There's a lovely coffee shop, mud puddle on the right here. It's a great spot to stop and get some work done. Not super huge, but it definitely is cozy and quaint and kind of has that historic coffee shop feel that a lot of these historic downtowns have. And we're going to keep moving along. There's a lot of cute boutiques and different businesses that call this place home. This is a historic area actually has some Civil War type things. And I don't know if there's any Revolutionary War stuff, but I know there's Civil War monuments and old relics here. And we're moving on to some of the different drinks and coffee throughout Fort Mill. This isn't a historic downtown, but Knowledge Perk is one of my go-to coffee spots for work meetings. If we ever meet in person, I will probably invite you to come here and meet with me because it is such a great spot. Biscuit Belly is another great option as well. It's more of a upscale-ish breakfast place, but it's not crazy expensive. You have Firebirds here. That's a new one in the last year. Great higher end eating place, I suppose. Biscuit Belly here. And as we're walking through these and looking at them, I'll just want to, I guess, fill you in who Madeline and myself, James Lonnie, are. I don't know if you've watched our channel before, if this is your first time, but we are basically, we've been married here for about 3 years. And well, actually it's almost been 4 years now we've been married, and we got married in Charlotte, lived in Fort Mill, like I said, and now we moved somewhere else. I'll let you know where at the end. But we really had a really positive experience, I think, so far living in Charlotte and Fort Mill area. But there were some drawbacks that we'll let you know about at the conclusion of this. But I think a lot of the different aspects of Charlotte were a bit overwhelming, which is why we left Charlotte for Fort Mill. And then there's some other reasons why we left Fort Mill. But moving along, Duck Donuts, that's a great spot to stop. Some really amazingly unique and different type donut options. I think they changed flavors. Naf Naf and Anisio Pizza are great spots as well. And that's right actually near where we used to live. And this is Kingsley. So we saw historic downtown Fort Mill, but this is a different district in Fort Mill. It's called Kingsley. It's only about 25 years old, maybe a little bit older, but it's a newer one because you know, they basically just grown so much that they pretty much put in this entire shopping, eating district, as well as a lot of shops and businesses have moved in here. There's a hotel, there's a Panera Bread, lots of breweries and such. There's a Cold Stone ice cream. And we'll see in a minute, there's a little pond in the center of it. And on the other side of the pond, there's a big office building where a lot of corporate offices are, and they rent out to different businesses locally and possibly internationally as well. But this is a little pond area. You can get your ice cream at Cold Stone, walk down here and eat. We've done that before. Napa, you just saw that. There is a really upscale restaurant that is, yeah, it's just a really nice spot to go to if you want more of an ambience. And we'll see the lake here. And continuing on with, you know, who Madeline and I basically have been working in Charlotte as a real estate professional for the past several years, really since 2020. And I have grown to really start working with a lot of relocation clients. So if you are considering moving to Fort Mill or Charlotte, or maybe you are just thinking about moving somewhere and you don't know exactly where, but you've had the Carolinas or Charlotte or Fort Mill, or maybe just North Carolina or South Carolina on your radar, don't be afraid to just shoot me a text. My phone number is in the description below. I think I showed at the beginning and end of this video as well. And it's just a really smart option to contact a local expert who knows the area, knows some of the ins and outs, and kind of can give you an opinion on, based on your likes, that we, you know, if I think that it would be a good move for you based on, you know, what you're looking for. This is Baxter Village, by the way. It's a really kind of cute boutique community centered around another little historic, not really historic, another little downtown area. They have a library there and some different places to eat and shop, as you'll see here. That's a really cool place to go to. And it's amazing when you start looking through these places. There's really 3 little walking towns like this in Fort Mill, and there's even more that are coming because it's just so popular. And Baxter Village is one of them. It's a newer one. Historic downtown Fort Mill is obviously the oldest one because it's historic and it's kind of original of the city. These are added on as, you know, big developers have come in and kind of wanted to create a multifaceted area and community with neighborhoods around them. So that is that. But yeah, other than that, if you do have any real estate questions, maybe you're not sure about your financial situation, if you're not sure if you can even afford a home in Charlotte, just reach out, let me know. I'll be honest with you up front. I'm not going to, you know, waste your time or beat around the bush if I, you know, think that Charlotte or Fort Mill or the Carolinas aren't a good fit for you, or maybe they're above your budget. So yeah, just let me know. If you have any questions on that, don't be afraid to shoot me a text, or even just save my number in your contacts. That way, if you ever have a question, you can just shoot me a text or give me a call, and I can help from there. But other than that, you know, we personally love to just hang out as a family. We have a 2-year-old, and then we have a little over a 2-week-old. So we have two kids under 2 actually right now. Not for much longer. Our 2-year-old will have a birthday pretty soon. But we, yeah, we're a growing family. That's why we, you know, really kind of most of my business comes from, you know, families or couples or people like that. But I also work with a lot of, you know, single and young professionals looking to move here. I even work with several retirees. I'm, you know, currently have a seller that's their retirees. They're moving to Florida. And then I also have a buyer that, you know, they're retirees looking for a place to live here in Charlotte in a 55 plus community or something. So whatever stage of life you're in, we just want to help and add value however we can. And other than that, you know, continuing on, I remember, you know, when Madeline and I were dating, we came to Baxter often and just checked out the different spots here. There's a little ice cream place and lots of different options to just have a good time. And there are lots of great options for schooling and education here in Fort Mill. Probably some of the best school systems in the entire double state of the Carolinas, North and South Carolina. You have all of your school districts very highly rated. I think there's nothing under a 6 rating. I could be wrong. Maybe there's one elementary or school or something in the district that's maybe a 5, but overall, most of the schools are rated at an 8 or a 9 or a 10, which is unheard of. And even in your, you know, triple school packages, depending on where you're at for elementary, middle, and high school, rarely will you have more than 2 schools that are under an 8 or a 9 or a 10. So it is really, or more than one school, I should say. And this is actually a new school that just finished. At the time of recording, they're building it, but now it is finished. It's a new elementary school, great spot. So we'll wait to see what the rating on that is. I'm sure it's going to be great. And you have a really cool area in Ann Springs Close Greenway. And this is a huge, basically preserved area of woods, nature trails, miles of walking trails. You can bring your horses here to do horseback riding. There's a really nice park here near historic downtown Fort Mill, Walter Y. Elisha Park. Lots of space to hang out. That's where they put the Christmas tree in the Christmas time season. And this is a great spot to walk around, hang out with family and everything. So lots of outdoor options here. I know it might seem like Fort Mill is super built up, and it has been built up a lot, but they've really done an amazing job, the government and city has, of preserving tons of green space and tons of areas for people to just rest and relax and recoup. There's lots of disc golf options nearby. There's a little park also near Tega Cay, which is another part of Fort Mill. It's kind of like a town within Fort Mill, which Tega Cay in of itself is actually rated the #1 town in, I believe, South Carolina for like relocation or living in. And it was also rated the top town to live in for all of Greater Charlotte, which is amazing. So it's super desirable. I do help a lot of folks in Tega Cay, whether that's buying or selling, because it's just so popular and the schools are amazing and there's tons of cool places to go. Like this little park overlooks the lake. It's right against Lake Wylie, which is another reason it's really cool. And the prices honestly are pretty affordable for living on the lake. Obviously, if you're on the water, lakefront, it's going to be a lot. This is the Tega Cay Marina, as you can see. But if you're on the water, yes, it's very expensive. But if you're a little ways off the water, as in, you know, maybe, I don't know, 1,000 yards or something, prices are very affordable. You can get stuff in the 300-400s amazingly. You can get some, you know, some of these older, cute lake homes. I just helped someone buy a little lake house that, you know, you can walk to the lake from where they're at to that Tega Cay Marina you just saw. But you know, are only paying, I think they only pay like $430,000 or something for it. And it was a decent sized home. I think it was like a 3-bedroom, 2 or 2.5 bath, maybe 1,600 square feet. And also there's a Tega Cay pickleball court. So you have tennis, pickleball in Tega Cay. You also have a golf course, and there's a Goodwill right here in Fort Mill as well. And honestly, some of the best things we've ever found thrift storing were at this Goodwill. So I definitely recommend it. Tons of great steals and finds. I think because it's a higher end area, you get some donations here that are a little bit better than, you know, some other Goodwills for whatever reason, but we found some really cool stuff. This is the peach stand. You have a little ice cream and deli here. You can get all kinds of cool finds here. That's my wife and baby. That was material. She was younger then. Now she looks so much bigger. It's crazy. And you have lots of little local goodies and things that people have done. A lot of farm fresh stuff in this little peach stand is what it's called. And this is also in kind of in between Kingsley. Actually, it's right across from where Kingsley is. And it's not too far from historic downtown Fort Mill and Baxter as well. This is the deli and everything. And it's a really cool spot. Found lots of little gifts and knickknacks here for white elephant gifts or whatever you want. And yeah, we love going here and just checking out all the different cool stuff. And moving on to craft axe throwing, we have been here on some dates. As you can see, Madeline's really good. Hopefully she doesn't turn around at me. I might be in trouble. I'm not just kidding. She's nice, but she is good at that. Now, this is another golf club. This is Fort Mill Golf Club, not the Tega Cay Golf Club I mentioned. So there's several golf options here. And yeah, Fort Mill Golf Club is historic, and it's a very nice club. They upkeep the course very well. Great spot, and it's right near some neighborhoods. So if you want to live right near historic downtown Fort Mill and right near a golf course, you could potentially walk or golf cart to either one. And this is a really good neighborhood to live in. As you saw the houses up on the side of it right there. That's a nice little older neighborhood that has some really nice homes that you can buy, and you can be really close to the golf course and downtown Fort Mill and everything it has to offer. And this is the library I mentioned. This is in Baxter Village, actually. Really cool spot, and it just kind of has everything you need. Before I end here, I want to go ahead and mention, some of the reasons why Fort Mill might actually not be a great option for you. Number one, If you are looking for an investment property, Fort Mill is actually not a good option for most people. I only say that because the taxes here are triple what they would be for a primary home if you are, buying it as a second home. For your primary home, property taxes are actually cheaper in South Carolina than they are in Charlotte. But if you're buying an investment property, it would be better to do it in Charlotte, just over the border. Another reason is that Fort Mill is pretty crowded. It's been having so many people move here the last 5-6 years, especially, that we honestly moved out because the hustle and bustle was just too much. The traffic was bad. We just were kind of tired of how many people were around all the time. We love people, but if you're just trying to get from point A to point B, you just want a little bit more of a chill feel. And so that's why we left. Some people love the business and hustle and bustle, but it just wasn't for us. So that's why we left Fort Mill and moved somewhere else. Some other reasons why you might not want to live in Fort Mill is because if you're moving for the schools, a lot of schools are actually oversaturated, and some people are having trouble getting their kids into the grades and schools that they want them to be in. So you might have to go to a different school in Fort Mill, but it might be a little bit farther, maybe less highly rated or something. So that's something to think about. Make sure you check with the school district if you're moving here for the schools, because you don't want to move here for a school and then realize, oh my goodness, that grade is oversaturated and my kid can't be in it. So something to think about. Those are some reasons. There's some more too. If you ever have more questions about why we left, some reasons it might not be a good fit for you, just reach out, shoot me a text or call. But otherwise, let's go ahead and wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me, and I have something important to say, so check out what's next.
Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me on this tour of the beautiful Fort Mill, South Carolina. We hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you could go ahead and click that little thumbs up button at the bottom of this video, that would help us out a ton. Go ahead and like the video and subscribe to our channel for everything Charlotte and Upper South Carolina, including property tours, more community and city tours like this one, even local events going on here in Fort Mill and Charlotte and everywhere around Charlotte, North Carolina and Fort Mill, South Carolina. So go ahead and do that. That would help us out a ton. Also, if you have any real estate needs, whether you're looking to maybe buy a home, sell a home, invest in a property here in our market, please go ahead and look in the description below or on my YouTube banner and pull out your phone and take a picture of my contact info. That's my phone number, my email, even a link there for a private Zoom session with me to discuss your real estate journey here. So go ahead and do that. That would be awesome. We'd love to help you out on your real estate journey here in the Carolinas. And otherwise, we hope you have an awesome rest of your day. We hope you enjoyed this video, and go ahead and keep following us for more videos like these. And we cannot wait to show you around our city very soon.